Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's update video. So this week I'm going to announce the winners of the contest, the banner design contest, and I will also do the Q&A for the world map that we announced last week. I'm going to start with the Q&A and we'll finish it up with the contest winners. Alright, so the first question is from Kingdom Brag. My question for next week is, will there be anything to prevent players using fast travel to escape a fight? Currently, you cannot fast travel while in enemy territory or when you are in combat. After you finish being in combat, there will be a short cooldown period before you will be allowed to fast travel again. Otherwise, you would be able to fast travel out of the combat, which is like really not fun. You almost get your guy and he just vanishes. So yeah, there will be a timer there. The second question is from Waterlemon. How about low-res player activity indicator instead of exact location? So you are talking about the little green dot on the map. The little green dot on the map is already a rough indication. It's always in the corner of the area and it doesn't indicate the exact position. It's not a GPS. Additionally, it only portrays you or your allies' location. It never shows you where the enemies are. Then the next question is from Mathers. Will the player need to build a claim block in each region, or will there be a more intuitive system to expand your claim? For now, you will have to place a claim block in each region you wish to claim. We are playing around with some other ways of claiming areas, but they are in concept phase. We have not really decided on anything different for now. The next question is a modding related question. It's from Antspeak. For modding purposes, do the 6 kingdoms correspond to the 6 tiles used for the planet height map? As a matter of fact, yes, they do. During the development, we even named them after the corresponding height maps. So the land on the up face of the planet was called Updog, and we had other creative names for the kingdoms of the planet. So basically, you will be able to figure out how your planet, when you are modding a planet, will align to the kingdoms. The next question is from Mirandix. Will it be possible to build a hidden base by foregoing a claim block at the risk that anyone can enter if you don't design it carefully? So we are actually still experimenting with that idea. It kind of goes against the idea of making people able to find you. By removing the ability of players able to find you, we kind of go back to the same situation in Space Engineers, where the game becomes submarine warfare, where it's all about not being found, rather than building proper defenses. On the other hand, it is cool to build like a secret base somewhere that no one will be able to find. So we are still experimenting with the direction we're going to take in that regard. This is the second last question. It's from Bilzerob. Will fast travel be limited to areas you have physically traveled to, similar to in Skyrim for example, or can you blind jump into an area you've never seen? So this is actually one of our fast travel options in the world map. It allows you, it wasn't finished during last week's video, so it wasn't in the screen, but it allows you to disable fast travel to any area and only allow fast travel to destinations that are considered developed. When is an area considered developed? When A, you have a claim block in there, or B, there are enough large blocks built there. So when you are actually building structures, then eventually it becomes travelable. This kind of ties in with the previous question. If we don't show you on the map where you can fast travel, you don't know if you can fast travel there until you click it. So in that case, even building areas without the claim block would still reveal on the map that you were there. So this is kind of the stuff we're actively playing around with to see what works out best. And maybe we'll just leave it as a world setting for people to enable and disable. Now the last question is from someone who seems to be very good at doing their math. It's from Ash87. Can we get a release date for the planets and the map? And at video 10, the devs were past the 50% mark on their list of work. Has the same rate of work continued and we're at like under 5 weeks now until it's all out? Well, I am not going to give you an exact release date just yet, but the estimate I gave you in video 10 isn't actually that far off the mark given the current state of the game. So you are very good at doing your math, but I'm not giving the date just yet. Okay, so that brings us on to the next topic, the banner design contest winners. I have decided to select 3 banners from the submissions, and I'll tell you, before I will show you them, I will tell you briefly my selection process. So the first criteria was that the designs are self-made, so no IPs that we cannot use. For example, there were a couple of really nice looking banners, but they were Tolkien IP. We cannot use those even though they looked really good. Then there were a couple of banners that also looked really good, but they had too much detail in them, which is kind of cool, but unfortunately the way we are currently rendering the banners, we cannot use high detail images. The details simply get lost in the picture. Maybe in future iterations we'll be able to render them with more crispness or more detail, or we actually can figure out some other way to solve this issue. So my selection process was simple shapes, big clear geographic patterns. Those all worked out really well. So in the end I came up with these 3 that we thought were really cool. So without further ado, I'll show you the first winning banner design. It's from Saturex CZ, who has attempted quite a few banners, and this is the one I like the most. It's a nice bow on a blue and black cross background. Nice big pattern, very unique elements, easily visible from a distance what it is representing. So I really like this one. So yeah, this one is going into the game. The next one, also from someone who came up with a bunch of suggestions, is something that I thought was quite funny and apt for the medieval engineers setting. It's from Zudrix, and it's his 3rd attempt. He made a catapult. I thought it was a really funny one, so I decided we should add it, because you know, it's still big, clear shapes, and there's a catapult, which is clear, clean, not too much details. I liked it. Now the final one is an image that was used quite often on heraldry, and I couldn't not include it. The background is slightly too high detail, but I think that the image itself is a very typical image for back in those days. And it's the stag from Omega Storm. I thought that this is such a typical thing, a hunting trophy. It was so integral back in those days that I couldn't not include it. So yeah, these 3 banners will be going into the game, and we will be showing you these next week when we show you the banners working in the game. We'll take some castles, or we'll tell the guys to build some castles, and we'll put the banners on there and we'll get you some nice screenshots. I hope you like the ones we picked. It was quite difficult to select because there were some really good ones, and it was a tough competition. So thanks all for joining in the contest. Maybe we'll do another one in the future. I really like the way this worked out, and yeah. So see you guys next week, where we will be showing you all about the banners working in the game, and we'll release the modding guide for how to prepare your banners for Steam Workshop submission. See you all next week. Goodbye.